What up, everybody? Beacon here from Malice-Corp, coming to you live for episode 12. Get your game on. We are here today to talk about E3 predictions. We're going to talk a lot of video games today. We're going to talk some nerd news. We're going to talk about our nerd fight. Um, yeah, so that's the plan for today. Of course, Mest is still away. He's on a boat right now, cruising. So, yeah, you'll get to see him again in a couple weeks from now. So we're going to go around the room, the virtual room here, and just say hi to everybody that is on the cast today. And then we'll come back to you in the chat channel to say hi to all of you out there in the chat land. So again, we're going to do nerd news. We're going to talk some E3. We're going to do a nerd fight. With me today, holding down the fort with me, as always, is the lovely Super Hoovian Freak.
Hi, guys. Sorry, my mic was muted.
Always good to have you. All right, we have joining us again 2 weeks in a row. We actually have Mr. Igor. You're going to have to unmute and say hi.
I have a mic too. Hello.
Good to have you back, Igor. And
Thanks.
again, another for this guy, 2 weeks in a row as well. His mic is fixed. He's ready to rock. Mr. Nudie Rudy.
What's cracking, fools?
Good to be able to not just see you, but to be able to hear you as well. And that guy right there is going to be at E3 next week with the Big Papa Matt, and they're going to be doing some videos for you. They're going to be talking all things E3. So very excited for that. And of course, joining us and producing this show is the wonderful and talented Mr. Jack Malice.
I don't know about the wonderful and talented, and I really don't know about producing. All I'm doing is clicking some buttons and stuff.
Modest as always. That's one of his qualities as well. So humble. So humble. You should hear him before this starts.
5 minutes. Guys, focus.
Be quiet.
5
Mute
minutes.
your mics. Mute your mics. Stay
Just
to the
sit there
right.
and look
Stay
pretty,
to the
Jack.
left. Stay to the right. Stay to the left. Sometimes we just don't know what to do. All right. So, hey, we're going to jump in. We're going to do some nerd news right now. We're going to talk about the results from last week's Nerd Fight, which was all about women in film and specifically women who are portraying heroes, anti-heroes, villains in comic book media. So super excited to talk about that. Then we're going to jump into a big E3 conversation, which will be a lot of fun. And then we have a very awesome nerd fight. Super Hoovian Freak had sent out a video that went out yesterday telling you a little bit about it. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all the previous nerd fight winners and we're going to ask you, which one would you like to see a new unique video game made for? So you're going to pick that. In addition, we're going to ask you to give us your ideas, pitch us, give us your hashtag Malice pitch of what that video game might look like. And we'll talk about that at the end, and we'll give you some ideas that each of us have for that. So we're going to go first to Super Hoovian Freak if she's ready, and she's going to drop some World of Warcraft patch news and a couple other things.
Yeah, so WoW basically came out today with their release date for the new patch, and it's 7.2 and a half. So it's not the next huge patch. It's just introducing some new stuff, but it's all pretty cool. And it's going to be released on June 13th, so it's coming out pretty soon. There's going to be some new time walking dungeons in, I want to say, Northrend. There's going to be some new, on the day of the patch itself, there's going to be like a costume contest. They're turning all the auction houses in the big cities into dance halls. And there's going to be dance parties going on. There's going to be gnome races because apparently, yeah, exactly. And if that's not enough, there's going to be racing gnomes throughout the different zones. So that's kind of cool. New pet battle dungeons are coming out, and new stuff for the Dark Moon Fair. You can battle for costume pieces. But the biggest thing that's coming out is the heirloom armor pieces are now being upgraded to go up to level 110, as opposed to stopping at level 100. So you get to keep your heirloom armor all the way up until you hit 110, which is really cool because it gives you experience bonus. So faster leveling is always a good thing to have. And then the other big thing that they're coming out with is that you can actually go to the heirloom armor vendors and you can learn the flight pass for the low zones instead of having to run all over, and take 20 to 30 minutes crossing the entire zone trying to get flight paths. You can actually learn the flight pass from a recipe. It's
Nice.
kind of awesome because Lord knows the one downside to World of Warcraft is the long travel times in between each zone. I mean, there are times literally where I will take, just trying to collect flight paths, it'll be like an hour to an hour and a half of my life wasted just running around getting flight paths. So
Yeah, that's no
pretty
good.
cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I'm excited about that.
Very cool. Well, we also had we want to talk real quick about a trailer that literally just dropped. And that is Marvel's new movie. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I just want to say hi to all the lovely people over there in the chat land. I'm watching you now. Beth, how are you doing? Good to have you back. Marley Ba, good to see you as well. Thank you all for joining us, and make sure you just keep them comments rolling. One of us will pick it up and give a quick shout out. So we're super, super happy to have you. Do want to just say that we're missing Mr. Big Papa Matt and his epic beard. So, man, you got to deal with this not so epic beard tonight. So sorry about that. But as we say here in Malice Land, real life comes first. And so Matt's got to help out some friends. So that happens. But you are going to be in for a treat next week with that smiling gentleman over there, Mr. Nudie Rudy, and Big Papa Matt when they go to E3. So, wow, it's going to be a lot of fun. So he's got a more epic. Nudie Rudy's got a more epic beard than I do. I think mine might have a little bit of length on it, but that's another story. So, to some more news. So that trailer that dropped was Marvel's Black Panther. So want to get some reactions from everybody. Did anybody else get a chance to see it?
Yeah, it was a good trailer. I think it looks awesome. The fight scenes were awesome. I was a little bit confused as to where it was being set, but once I found out where it was being set and why it looked like it was set in the future, it made a lot more sense. But I think it looks awesome, and I love the guy that they cast for it. I don't know his name because I'm absolutely terrible at remembering names, but I think it looked amazing. So I'm excited for it.
You remember him from Serenity, don't you?
Oh my God, he's the one that played the. I can't remember his name either, but he's the one that played the guy that was hunting them. Oh, I knew he looked familiar. The curly hair threw me off. Dude, has he aged at all? Has he aged at all since Serenity?
No.
No. Oh my God, he really is a witch.
Gloriously so.
Yeah,
Even
I
if he
love
doesn't
the
have a beard.
trailer, honestly. Yeah, it got me excited to see the movie. It did the trick, a teaser trailer. It's teased. It was quick. There wasn't a lot of meat to it, but I liked the scenes I saw. I got it. And honestly, any trailer that's dropping some fat run the jewels, dude, I'm a fan. RTJ, baby. Yeah.
Nice.
So, I'm in.
Well,
No.
I want to drop in there real quick and say that, like, you nailed it, Mike. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Too often, too late, too often, too around now that they're giving you the entire movie in the trailers. And it's like, I watched the trailer. Now I know what's going to happen. Well, I'm going to watch the movie.
True. And this was a teaser. This was the teaser trailer. So it's not the official trailer, but it is the official teaser trailer. So, they didn't give away a whole lot, but man, they pretty much gave away enough to where you can kind of tell where it's going. So yeah, I know if Matt was on this right now, he would be he'd be pretty pissed right now. Like he doesn't trust movie trailers for a freaking reason. I mean, the
No, he's
art
got a good point.
the art of a mysterious trailer seems to be dead.
I don't know. I thought this one was actually pretty decently mysterious because I was struggling to pick out anything other than Wakanda and the Black Panther as anything specific. Well, other than our good armless friend from Age of Ultron.
Right.
But one thing I did notice that might have been intentional, might not have, was that one lady with the solid gray hair swinging a staff around in somebody's face like she meant it, who had solid gray hair but was definitely not old and even looked like she was wearing an outfit that they had showcased Storm of the X-Men in more than once when she was back in Africa.
Storm,
so
like that,
I
that
wonder.
would be...
Except for the fact that she's still under license to Fox, that would make me think, oh, that's Storm. But even then, Marvel's actually already slipped a few Easter eggs that they don't have licenses to into the movies. I noticed one when I showed Ms. Marleyba Guardians of the Galaxy. Anybody remember Rom Space Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised. He's not really big. He's owned by Milton Bradley. But he was in Guardians of the Galaxy at the end.
Speaking of that, I actually want to
maybe.
tie into that comment. And I loved the Black Panther trailer as well. Obviously, we got to see him in the last big movie. So we're already introduced to the character. So to see, I love the way that Marvel goes about doing things. They don't just throw a new character at you. They do a good job of really introducing these characters so that they're not foreign and everything is really well tied together. The thing I wanted to mention about the Guardians of the Galaxy is look, y'all, I'm Mary Poppins. So I want to get back to a comment that Jack made last week about Mary Poppins. News this week about the new Mary Poppins movie, which of course is being produced by Disney, and it makes it's really interesting because
the new one,
yes, there's a new one, and it's really super interesting because Disney has this way of slipping in these little these little hints of what might be to come, and for them to drop into it's speculation, of course, but what a great line in that movie, and it was a super funny moment. And if that ties to them trying to produce or trying to give some props to this future movie, well played, Disney. Well played, because it's one of my favorite parts of Guardians. So, and if you haven't seen Guardians, I've given you like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so get over.
Question then.
Yeah.
You going back to your comment about introducing the characters and making the movies about them. Does this mean we're finally going to get a Scarlet Witch movie?
I have not heard any rumors on that front yet.
I would really like a Scarlet Witch movie.
So would I.
I mean, she's a really compelling character, you know.
So would I. I know that
and it would be nice for Marvel not to knock them in. Don't get me wrong, but it would be nice for them to focus and do a solo female movie, whether it be Black Widow or the Scarlet Witch or, you know.
Yes, and and Beth is agreeing with you in the chat channel, saying Black Widow, all caps.
Yeah, I mean,
exclamation.
yeah, I mean, it would just something. It would be nice.
No spoilers because I don't know anything, but I know the comics history that she's enough that she's unlikely to get her own movie, but she is likely to get a co-star in a movie that isn't Avengers. Oh. I'll just say that because I don't want to give away what might be in there just in case it is in there.
Huh.
Interesting. That would be nice.
All right, we need an article about that.
Oh, and then there's Nudie Rudy's holding up Hawkeye. I think you want
Hawkeye.
That's the crossover. I'm just saying. Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch.
And
Yes.
I do love Hawkeye, so I would not be adverse to having a solo Hawkeye movie.
What I was actually about to say is that's what I was reading all this week was that's not going to happen. That they're not going to give Hawkeye his own solo movie. So that's funny tie-in. Glad that
way
you
to kill the
mentioned
dream.
But seeing them two together would, that'd be cool. But I think to back on to what you're saying though, I think Marvel should, for once, Marvel should look at what DC's doing, and DC just did with Wonder Woman. I mean, making over $100 million in its opening weekend, and I know that that's not a record, but
it's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good, especially
I
for
I
DC
actually
movies.
beg to differ. I'm pretty sure that is a record for a opening weekend for a female director.
Yes, it is. Yes, thank you. It absolutely is for a female directed movie. That is a record. Well played, Jack. Well played. Good call out. And if you haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, I'm just going to give you a quick plug. There is an article by the Big Papa Matt that is on malice-corp.com. You should go read it. It doesn't give away, spoilers in the area that if you read it, you're going to be upset if you go watch. Okay. But it does talk about some of the themes within the movie, and you need to just go pay the $11, $14. I don't care how much it is. It's worth it. Yeah. So anyway, you should go watch it. You should go watch it.
Listen to Beacon. He speaks truth.
He does.
Okay. Hey, so with that, we're going to move on to I did have some other news, but we're going to hold on to that for later. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next segment. So as usual, we do a nerd fight. This week's nerd fight, just to segue off of that last conversation about Wonder Woman, was all about women in film. And we were really picking the actresses that portray comic book hero, anti-hero / villain in comic book media. So we had some picks, and we're going to go over where we're currently at. If you are interested in voting and you have not voted within the last 12 hours, you do still have some time to vote. So you do have a little over 3 hours and 40 minutes to vote. So you got time. Get out there and vote. Rep your pick. And yeah, so we're going to pull that up here in just a moment. Jack, if you have it, feel free to jump in.
Sure do. I got it right here.
Beautiful.
Right now, leading the pack, and has been leading the pack all week long, is Iris West, Candace Patton from The Flash. She was the Twitter pick. She had over 80 some odd or 60 some odd or 30. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Very different numbers there.
Tweeting at Super Hoovy and Freak that she had to be on there. She's sitting at 272 votes, which makes up 38% of the entire votes. And then our number 2 right now is Buffy with Sarah Michelle Gellar at 187. Then Liv Moore, Rose McGyver from High Zombie.
Beautiful. Sorry.
Which I made a mistake and said I was thinking it wasn't a comic book. I didn't realize that it started out as a comic book that we had the show into. Okay. And then we had X23 with Daphne Keene. She's got 55 votes from Logan and X-Men. Princess Leia, this one surprised the heck out of me that she's down the list. Carrie Fisher with only 28 votes. I thought that was going to be repped and pushed and through the roof. And then Wonder Woman way down there with 19 votes. And then Harley Quinn with 11. I was like, those doesn't make sense, but okay. And then Sue Storm with 2 votes. That's where you're at right now.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm sorry, Miss Gilchrist.
Yeah.
It's a good show, I swear.
It is. It is a good show. I think what happened is Jessica Alba killed that character.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. They need if any movie needs a recast and a redo, it's that poor character. And that's
Well,
nothing
that-
against Jessica Alba, but I mean, honestly, it was just poor writing for her character, and just flat acting.
Laura Gilchrist actually killed that role in the Cartoon Network series,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the only Fantastic Four cartoon more obscure than the 1960s Fantastic Four.
I know.
So yeah, I should have mentioned it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
to jump in there and jump on Igor's side a little bit there, for everything Fantastic Four, they either hype it up to the point where you're never going to be satisfied with the hype when you get the product, or they don't tell you about it at all until it's been canceled or it's done with, or they just do a really bad job with Fantastic Four. They really have, publicity wise. And it is one of their flagships. It's like, really, this is like been around forever. Why aren't you doing more for this?
And can I please, I know this is a sidetrack, but can I please, for the love of God, get a Doctor Doom movie? I mean, I just want more Doctor Doom. He's one of my favorite comic book characters, and they just, anyway.
There's a Black Panther tie-in there. I'll just say that.
Ooh.
You'll love it when you find it.
That was actually the one casting in the Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba that I actually loved. Was what's his name? Julian McMahon. I'm not sure how you say it. McMahon. The dude from Charmed, and Nip Tuck, the one that played Doctor Doom in that movie. I loved him.
I try not to remember that movie, so I can't tell you.
Right. I just love that actor. Yeah, I just love that actor. In his other roles, I mean, that probably, like I said, it wasn't his strongest role because it just wasn't great writing. But he's actually a much better actor in that movie portrayed. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Speaking of rulers of country.
Go ahead. What was
speaking
that?
of rulers of fictional countries. Speaking of rulers of fictional countries, you got that Black Panther tie-in. That's perfect. Going with
Yes. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Regarding this week's fight, I think the biggest thing, to get back to the nerd fight, I know we're jumping around a little bit. It's all good. Hopefully everybody's having fun. What up, Robert? I see you in the chat there. I didn't miss you. I mean, I do miss you, but I didn't miss you in the chat. And there's a lot of chat about they want to see a good Final Fantasy. Look at me. Ooh, I see FF, and I think video games. I think Final Fantasy. They want to see a good Fantastic Four movie. So we all do. Believe me, we all do.
I do love the fact that Robert says he flat out refused to watch the last Fantastic Four movie, and I don't blame him. I saw the trailer and what it looked like, and it looked like I hate saying this, it looked like a college or a film college production. It was overdone, over CGI'd. It looked like the new Cyborg for
that's
Justice
just
League.
an insult to them.
I will tell
I'm
you
sure there's probably some good acting in there. And
No. I meant that was an insult to college. That was an insult to
college filmmakers everywhere. We apologize.
At least Fantastic had good casting for all four members this time. At least they had that.
I would say it, out of all of the movies, it wasn't the worst by far. It wasn't terrible, but I did leave it going, what the F was that? Like, it was disappointing. And I think it's disappointing because Hollywood, listen to me, Hollywood, the comics are great. The stories are wonderful. Just make a movie about them. Quit trying to be all fancy dancy and coming up with your own ideas. Use the ones that are proven to work. For the love of God, somebody just make a comic movie that's based on a comic. Please.
Well, they've got this mindset. They've got this idea. Somebody filled it in their head that to get us comic fans to come to the movies, they have to break from the source material and give us something new. They have to give us something that we haven't seen or read. And so they're putting their own spin on the story of Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four. And their spin is a cheap, hokey Hollywood bromance, romance, crud, garbage bomb that all of us hardcore fans go, that's not my X, my Flash, my Fantastic Four, my whatever. And
Right.
they end up making a big stinking garbage bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going to circle back. We're going to stay on track here because Fantastic Four was not the topic of today's conversation as much as it seems
Yes,
like
sir.
it needs to be at some point. I do want to give out just some real quick thanks because I was repping Rose McIver for Live More because I'm a big eye zombie fan. Been binge watching to get completely caught up, and so I started over at the beginning. I've watched over 35 episodes in the last week, no lie. I got my new pops displayed here, my Live More pops. So I do want to give out some quick shout outs to at 23 Lou, at Holly Hemmels, at Syria Candida 99, at Rose McIver SRC, at Rose McIver Net, at iZombie Nation, and at iZombie Podcast. And some of those are just some huge fan sites on Twitter. So for them to give us some love here at Malice-Corp, we appreciate it. So thank you for jumping into the fight and giving Rose a fighting chance because I still believe she's the best actress out of them all. But that's my part of the nerd fight. So, hey, keep going. You can keep fighting until the end of the night. There's time to vote. But there's no more time to talk about it. So we are going to move on to
Real quick before you cut us off, I just want to sit there and say, Iris West, we didn't have anybody that picked her on the panel because it was a Twitter submission, and the fans that submitted her took it upon themselves to promote the heck out of her, and they pushed and they pushed and they pushed. So
and we would
a lot
need
of
to
love
have
to those
that
West Allen
scroller
fans.
going again in order to recognize everybody. Literally, we would have to have that 5.5 minute scroll going just to be able to recognize everybody.
Wow.
So, yeah, thank you, Jack. Thank you for being so engaged this week. And
I'll say one more thing. The one good thing, it came off maybe as a strange pick to a lot of people, but it inspired a lot of conversation on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook, my personal Facebook. I was getting messages. So, and not in a negative way. I mean, I'm not bashing the pick at all. It was a good pick. But just in a lot of people it did seem like an odd pick when you looked at everyone. You had X-23 and you had Buffy and all these people that had superpowers to a sense, and then you've got Iris West, not plain Jane, but that kind of but it did inspire a lot of conversation. It got people out there Googling her, reading the Flash comics to try and understand what this character means to these people. So that was kind of cool to see.
Well, I mean, it goes to the point where now we're in a day and age where you don't have to have superpowers to be a hero. And it's really great to see a female character now get the recognition that you had with Batman and with Tony Stark. These are men without powers. They're men that created their own powers. And Iris, what makes her a hero is the fact that she's willing to sit there and stand in some of these fights and some of these battles with no powers and do what she thinks is right.
I do have to say that Marley Boss says that Iris West's superpower is that she's super nosy.
She is. But you know what? But it helped.
Well, I mean, okay, then fine. You can say the same thing about Lois Lane. Then her superpower is that she's super nosy,
and no boundaries, no sense of boundaries with Lois Lane. By the way.
Well, see, you know what? Yeah. If you had to pick a character from the Superman franchise that I actually do like, it's Lois Lane. Can't stand Supes. Can't stand Supes, but Lois has always been a great character. She always made the what's that?
Perry White.
Yeah, Perry.
Yeah. But
He's
I
not a
mean,
superheroine, but still.
reoccurring character in the Superman franchise. She's the only one that really could stand on her own and made the comic interesting for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just a guy and a demigod in tights.
True story.
And Beacon, I promise this is a few seconds. I just wanted to say you're all right about Iris. This is Aunt Iris. This is the Flash's Aunt Iris from the comics.
Ooh.
This issue is 15 years old.
Thanks.
She's been
Fair
around
enough.
for decades, friends. Decades.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, I just so you know, you can go watch all of our Flash videos that we had out there from this last season, and you will probably not see a video in which I did not say Iris absolutely is what makes Barry a hero. Iris is the Flash's lightning rod. Without Iris, yes, there's a Flash and there's a Barry Allen, but he is at his best when he is tied to her, and she does so much more than what is given credit. So absolutely, it's a great pick. It's not my pick, but it's a great pick, and that's why we do nerd fights, because we like to talk about these things.
Sorry to be a one-upper man, but this comic here is the same age as I am. 1978. There's Iris West right there.
Very nice.
Sorry,
That's cool.
that's my girl. And she's dating another man, I must say, though, by the way. It's a whole messed up situation with the ringmaster there. This is a really tangled web right here, man. Good series.
Awesome.
Iris features well, yeah. Stepping out on the Flash, man. Ooh. I'm not going to spoil it.
All right, so that's going to take us into, we're going to talk some, can I do it? Can I move on? Yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to talk some E3. We've got about a good 15 minutes here to talk some E3, and then we're going to roll into the new nerd fight, and then we're going to, wrap this baby up. So we're halfway through. Let's talk some E3, and we're going to start with, I'm actually going to start with Super Hoovy Free, because I think she has a couple of, do you have anything? No, you already did your, what?
Yeah.
Do you have anything besides World of Warcraft?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Nudie Rudy.
Well, hello. I am very happy to say that I myself will be attending E3 this year. So looking forward to it. First year it's gone public in quite a while. Going to be an amazing time. And for me personally, I mean, E3 and for I think the entire video game community is really about the reveals, the big names, the publishers, about seeing what's coming up and getting excited and getting your hands on some of that stuff early. Oh, so nice. So for me, I want to talk mostly about what I'm most looking forward to see at E3. And I would certainly like to start with number one is just Sony in general. Sony always knocks it out of the park at E3. Every year they just have solid reveals, really good, amazing presentations. I mean, they just kick butt at E3. So I'm all about it. Really looking forward to anything Sony's doing. Not any particular announcement, anything I'm looking forward, although I really am looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Looks great. Can't wait to get my hands on that. Looks so good.
I spent so many hours of my later teenage life playing Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I think I had like 95 hours in that game. No joke. Every single part of that map was explored.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah, that is my favorite series, hands down, of any video game series. One of my favorite just franchises, universes of anything ever made. I absolutely adore Final Fantasy. From Final Fantasy 1, I mean, I've played since, and Final Fantasy VII, though, was just an epic masterpiece, just landmark game for the entire video game industry. It really was groundbreaking in so many ways. So to see that remake, it really is something amazing. Not that I'm specifically expecting anything E3 about it, but just got to say while I'm talking about Sony and such, flag mark thing for them. Couple other things I'm really looking forward to is Middle-earth, Shadow of War. I really, really dug the Shadow of Mordor game. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward. I saw some previews. Looks just like a really cool game. All in all, I'm so ready to delve back into that world. Love the whole Lord of the Rings.
Amen.
Read the trilogy and all 3 books when I was in like 7th grade. Man, that was a brutal week. But woo, man, just love the universe.
Yes.
That was a good week. That was a good week for me. So
I'm going to give a shameless plug. If you can't read all the books because they're really long and you just can't get into it, you need to go onto Malice-Corp website and you need to click on the Audible and join Audible, and you need to download the Rob Ingalls audio book. They are freaking amazing. He sings every part. Every character has their own voice. You know exactly who's doing it. You would think it was a reader's theater going on, but it's not. And it is freaking phenomenal. He also does the Hobbit as well. So do yourself a favor. They're really long, but they are so freaking phenomenal. All right, that's my one little audiobook plug. Sorry. Igor, what have you heard about E3? What are you looking forward to?
Stunning news, everyone. EA's actually doing something different in Madden.
What?
There's actually going to be a new feature in Madden 2018. There's going to be a story mode.
Where you can like be the stadium owner and like sell your franchise and move your franchise and move cities. Aren't they doing that for Madden, or was that just a rumor?
I know that is unconfirmed.
Okay.
Last I knew, but you can be a player.
They always have franchise mode, so they've always got that stuff going on.
They're probably going to have it. They're probably going to have it.
Yeah,
it's just going to say 100%.
No, I can tell you 100% they'll have it because they have it almost every version has a franchise mode where you absolutely can move your team and put in relocation. You can build your own stadium and your own jerseys and all that creative stuff. Yeah, you can set like prices for tickets. I mean, like,
oh my gosh,
you can get super nerdy in depth with controlling a franchise on Madden. So absolutely, that stuff's there.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the new one is being a player on the camera and off the camera, in and out of the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
The only stinker is apparently you can't create your own character. Apparently, you have to pick from preset just to keep so they could actually make the story more easily. And yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
That sounds a little bit like the old Blitz football game that was out there for a while.
That was the only contender to Madden back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, it sounds a little bit like they're taking and ripping a little bit out of the MLB show, because that's one of the things I like to play in the show is just the career mode, and I like doing the relief pitcher and just going in there and coming up at the end. And it simulates the entire game until you get to your part when you're coming up there to pitch and coming in to save the game or going in there to, hit or whatever. I enjoy those. I like those.
Just Frank Caliendo do Madden's voice, Eric. That would be so amazing if I hope that the day that Madden decides to retire his voice from doing the game, that Frank Caliendo just steps right in, just continues going because, yes.
It would be.
I want to see Frank Caliendo interview Madden as Madden. That's actually what I would like to see, or maybe them both be in the booth together. That would be fun. Anyway,
dueling Madden.
And what else?
And as I was mentioning to you guys earlier on, CD Projekt Red has some people claiming they've ripped them off of the Cyberpunk 2077 files and literally holding them for ransom, or they will leak the game information to the internet. CD Projekt Red's response has been, "We're not paying you the ransom, and the authorities have already been notified. And fans, if you have these are old files. We've already moved fast. So if you hear information about Cyberpunk that isn't from us, please ignore it." So that sucks, especially for them. They're such champions against DRM and some of the other things that are pro-consumer that whoever you are who did that, get a freaking life. And good for you, CD Projekt Red. Because we know The Witcher. We love The Witcher. Cyberpunk's going to be awesome no matter what these fools do.
Oh, The Witcher.
The only thing I'm upset about for Cyberpunk is they made one mistake, and that's they announced the game before they even started production on it. So I've been sitting now for 4 years, twiddling my thumbs, waiting for it. It's like
Not true. Not true. Look around on YouTube alone. You will find a lot of juicy goodness from them talking together with the creator of the tabletop RPG.
But those I've seen those videos.
They've been working on it. They have been working on it.
On 3 years old. They're like 3 years old now, and it's
I'm
like
not saying it hasn't
more.
been an agonizingly long time. Yes, it has been an
I want more
agonizingly long
stars.
time, but they're working. I trust them.
Too much.
Go ahead, Nudie.
No, say too much anticipation. That's all Tim's saying. Like, just why keep us waiting so long, man? Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
that can be said for a lot of people.
They could be secret or not so secret sadists, and that would be fine by me if Cyberpunk is just as awesome as The Witcher. That's all I'm saying.
If it's half as good as The Witcher, it's going to do well. That's
yeah.
plain and simple.
Oh, I want them to succeed as well, but I want to be selfish and have an awesome game for me. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Seriously, nothing wrong with that. In other news, we know that there some couple things that we know, and then we'll get into what we hope for. Okay, we know that Mario Odyssey for Switch is going to get a show off demo, so there's going to be a lot of Mario Odyssey happening. We're going to get kind of a full view of that game. We're also going to get a show off for Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed game. So, yeah, so that'll be really cool. There won't be any real. I am Cornholio. That was fantastic. Good interlude. And then the other thing that, that's what we know. But one thing that we think we're pretty sure is going to happen, like I'd say like 99.5% sure, is that we're going to see an Xbox Scorpio reveal. We were supposed to see it last year, and instead they rolled out the new Xbox One Slim or whatever the heck it was. So it got delayed. That's one of my hopes, is that we get to actually see the Xbox Scorpio and get some more Scorpion
That
news.
would be cool.
What do you guys think?
I think that would be cool.
It's the VP, I think it is, marketing, who's traveling around with the processor chip. So yeah, they're going to be doing it. They're going to be doing it.
There you go, confirmed. Breaking news from Igor.
About time, right? Speaking
Yes.
of waiting forever, about time.
No, the Scorpio looks like an amazing machine. Project Scorpio is just so overpowered. It really is. I mean, 6 teraflops. I mean, 50% more powerful than the PS4 Pro. Like, it's going to be an amazing unit. I'm just looking forward to the price and to see what they're going to drop it at. And if I got the bones to upgrade.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you guys want to see happen? So we talked about, Nudie talked a little bit about Sony, but what else is out there that you really are hoping that we get to see for E3?
I want more of the open Star Wars game that they teased in last year's E3. They put out that little trailer video, and now people are saying that that's just getting rolled up into the Battlefront and not going to be its own thing. But I mean, Star Wars: The Old Republic, I love the game, but it's dated now and it's old, and it's never been a true open world MMO. It's been very limited. And it teased us with that open world Star Wars MMO, and I'm dying. Everybody knows, and Nudie's sitting there going, I want Star Trek, but give me Star Wars. I want a Star Wars real world open MMO. That's what I'm saying.
I do love The Old Republic. I haven't played it in a while, but I did love it. But it is, you're right, it's a little limited. It needs to be expanded. I don't know how many expansions have come out since I last played it a couple years ago. But I don't want to say it gets repetitive, because it's not repetitive. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it does just need to be, like you said, it just needs to be expanded and opened up and more content. Just I want more content, more options.
Well, see, it's not really repetitive. What's going on, and Robert can jump in here on the chat channel and probably say something to this too, is that it's an MMO. It's supposed to be group core related, but it's also being put out by a company that's not famous for that. They're famous for their storyline. And about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they changed their mindset and decided, instead of doing a lot of group content and raids and flashpoints, that they were going to go story and tell a new story. Well, that alienated a lot of the big time MMO players, guys that are playing the game, that want to PvP, they want to raid, they want to do all of this group content. And they don't want to do the same story 15 times for each character. They want to run through the story one time with that character and see it once. But now you got to hold those guys in there, and they keep teasing us with this possibility that there's going to be a new open world Star Wars game. And where's it at?
Yeah.
I get it. I like both sides. So for me, like, I like the story. I love a good story. I love seeing these characters. I like getting to interact with the characters I've loved that I grew up with. But you're right. Yeah, you do it once. It's like, okay, so unless you can change up the story for each character, PvP. I never like PvP. I'll take that away. But I like the raids. I like the dungeons. I like the, I like that part of the group atmosphere. I stink at PvP though, so that's why I just don't PvP.
Well, they had individual storylines for your first 50 levels or so, and they were amazing. And that's what hooked a lot of people in the game, is that every single character class had their own story arc, they had their own development, they had their own story. But they're not spending that kind of money anymore, and that's a lot of money for voice actors and whatnot. And they're just now doing this one storyline, and they're kind of putting little tweaks in there for each class. But it's still the Outlander, and everybody's the Outlander, and everybody's the epic hero.
That's disappointing.
If you're going to do that and that's all the content you're going to give me, then it's not an MMO. I might as well be playing single player and co-op mode.
So hopefully, hopefully we see something new in that realm, for sure. Igor, did you have anything else that you really are hoping to see come out of this next week?
Well, honestly, my biggest dreams have already been shattered because Death Stranding is not going to be there. Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. Oh my God. But that does still beg the question, what on earth is BioWare working on? Because Mass Effect, whatever aside, I don't, Andromeda, it was what it was, but they are being interestingly cheeky with whatever this is. We literally don't even have a proper name for it. We just have you've-been-chosen.com. And like 3 or 4 different teasers you could really say at this point that show us nothing other than, hey, look at this. Ooh, that's neat. Look at that. Ooh, that's neat. Hey, look at this. Ooh, that's neat. What is that? Wouldn't you like to know? Bye.
Yeah, it
what
would
are they up to? What are they up to? I want to know.
Absolutely, because BioWare, man, they put out some awesome games. So I'm definitely excited to see. Are we going to see something from them? Because it has been a little bit quiet.
Oh, look at the teasers. Look at the website. The teasers are screaming that they are up to something. And since E3 is coming, all the money is riding on that they're going to do something and say, oh, by the way, boom, here's your IP, baby.
That's right. So with that, stay tuned because you're going to see all kinds of stuff next week about E3. Hopefully we'll see Nudie Rudy and Big Papa Matt giving us some videos. I'm going to say it on air. I would like to see one video every day from you about something about E3. So make that happen for me. I'm going to be the producer for a second to tell you. Jack Malice and I say, make that happen.
The one condition is he has to be fully clothed in every video.
Yeah. You have to be pants. You have to have pants on, dude.
Yeah. Yes. With that,
no promises.
No promises. With that, we're going to roll into our last and final segment of the evening, which is this nerd fight talk that we're going to have. Sounds serious, doesn't it? So we have these past winners. Super Hooving Freak, do you have the list Could you just throw those out
I
to us?
do. I think I have everyone. So we have Captain Jack. We had Merlin the Magician, not Malcolm Merlin, unfortunately, but Merlin the Magician. Supernatural, the TV show. We had Arthur Ketch from Supernatural. We had Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a couple. Help me out here, guys. What else have we done?
Castiel, the bet.
Castiel,
Yeah,
yes, thank you. Castiel from Supernatural. Can't believe I forgot Cass. And then there's one
Iris
more.
West.
Which
Yeah,
Joker was and which Joker was it?
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Heath Ledger.
think it was Heath Ledger that
Heath
won that
Ledger.
one.
Yeah.
Good,
Heath
and it was
Ledger
good
won
old
that one.
Heath.
And really quick before I lose this, Marley says that kilts are a good alternative to your pants.
Yeah, if you want to go kilt, or even if you want to go full dress, as long as you have clothes on,
Yeah.
I'm
The
not-
other one I was missing is the Quentin Tarantino pick, Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Kill
Yeah.
Bill.
So here's the idea, fans. You are just going to pick which one of those would you like to see have its own. Some of them already have video games made out of them. Okay, so in a
Oh, Boba
new
Fett. How did I
original
forget Boba Fett?
video game. And Boba Fett. Yes. Thank you, Marley Pa. You are so amazing. We love our fans because they help us stay on track. Best would have had like notes all over the place with every single thing made out. And
I miss Wes. I miss Mest. I miss Mest. I miss Mest.
you missed best. Well, we could have had him dial in from a cruise ship. I don't know how much that would have cost us, but in case you didn't know, we were super low budget, so that wasn't going to happen. But maybe someday in the future we will actually have a podcast on location, so that actually might happen. So stay tuned for more on that later. So here's what you're going to do. You're just going to pick which one of those would you like to see a new original game. Okay. Yeah, that's all you're going to do is you're going to vote on which one you want to see a new original game for. We're going to have an actual article like we have every week announcing the Nerd Fight. On that announcement article, you're going to jump in there and you're going to give us your Malice pitch, #Malice pitch. Pitch us a game. Your E3's coming up. You come in and you tell us what is your game going to look like. And I'm going to give you an example. So one I threw out on Twitter today that actually what's the actor's name for Catch Super Hoops?
David Hayden Jones.
Yeah, he actually
And-
liked it and it was awesome.
Dude, I mean, he's been interacting. I don't know if this is what even gave you the idea, but he's been interacting with me and some of the other fans on a catch-based video game. I mean, he's got his own character. He called it Wolf Nose, I mean,
That's
and
awesome.
his
That is
power is
awesome.
like the super
Yes.
smeller. He's got the super sniffer, and how he can solve crime by almost like a bloodhound, where he can track scents and use sense to trigger memories and
Nice.
hypnotherapy, and it was pretty awesome. The dude is awesome.
We could tie
I
all that
fangirl
into
all
my
over this
game
guy.
idea, because my game idea is the title will be Catch Me If You Can. And it's
Yeah.
going to be a Grand Theft Auto style game base. So free open map, but he's got to run around and he's got to complete his different missions, his assassin missions or his British Men of whatever mission he's
Yeah.
on. And in
Yeah.
the meantime, if he gets off track, then he's going to have hunters coming after him and
hmm
he's got to run from them.
It would be awesome. I would play it. The whole Supernatural fandom would buy it just because it's got the Supernatural associated with it.
If-
So they can
if-
make some bank.
And maybe we could have
They
like
can
a
make some bank.
secret Impala somewhere in the game that you have to find the Impala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that unlocks new content, right? That
Yes.
unlocks
Yes.
the baby levels.
There you go.
We got a suggestion from Marley
Oh
Ball.
yes.
A Kill Bill video game would probably devolve into a 2D scroller, but you could probably do it in do it Deadpool style, where it's just a bunch of different martial arts game styles.
Ooh. One thing we were throwing around the other day was if anybody remembers the old school Bushido blade.
Oh,
Anybody?
man.
Anybody
That is
played Bushido Blade
cool.
back in the day?
Yeah, that's a long time ago, man. That's
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, but you could totally do a Kill Bill fighting game. And then Big Papa Matt came up with one that was Nudie Rudy's gonna have to help me out with this. It was like a prequel where you get to choose which like snake themed assassin you were gonna be.
Yeah, he was pitching like an RPG where you'd have all of them as like your party, and you could switch between each. It was like their backstory when they were a total badass group of assassins and roaming through and doing contracts and stuff RPG style. It sounded pretty sick. I dig it.
Beth is suggesting a Boba Fett dress-up game for 5-year-olds.
Yes.
Oh yeah, good call, Robert. A Grand Theft Auto style Blade.
Oh. Did we have freezage?
I think we lost the beacon.
No.
Yeah, I did
I'm
have a
back.
pitch of my own that
You
contains.
can't kick me that easy. We'll hang
Guess
out.
who's back?
I could probably kick you, but I don't know if I can kick you from that far away. It's a little bit of a distance.
1,000-mile kick.
Well, it's on topic enough. I've been sitting here quietly entertaining myself with thoughts of not a new game, no, but the one game that EA will never make. Make a Sims Joker expansion.
Oh,
And just don't hold back.
that's cool.
Ooh,
Just imagine that.
Mhm.
I am.
Would it be all the different Jokers?
No, just the Heath Ledger concept, but don't hold anything back. Don't edit any of it out. But keep the same dialogue, keep the same job options, etc. Otherwise.
Interesting.
It's like to watch the world burn.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
Picture Sims screaming for mercy, and you have a pretty good idea already.
And then the other one that we were coming up with was the Jack Harkness, either some sort of RPG or even a first-person shooter Jack Harkness game. I'm not sure. Someone's going to have to flesh out that idea for us out there. And
Was an XCOM version of Torchwood,
Ooh.
which sounds amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, you just sold me.
You've never played
You just took Captain Jack and you took XCOM and you put them together in the same sentence. Because
Yeah.
everybody knows how much of a big fan I am of XCOM and XCOM 2 and all the old games. Could
and
you
now
see-
that John Barrowman's not on Arrow, maybe he could do all the voice acting for it.
Oh my god. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh.
Nerding out. Hashtag nerding out right now.
Hey man, just
I'm the
watching
man with the
Captain
plan,
Jack
son.
taking on a Viper.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So
Or Berserker.
I'm gonna throw out one last idea real quick that we were chatting about, and that is have the Iris West LA Noir style detective style game.
Investigative
kinda
reporter.
like
I was
a-
thinking that too.
Are you thinking like Maltese Falcon kind of world, or?
What was the one? Do you remember which one? Big Papa Matt had said it was something. I can't think of what he was saying.
LA Noir
Oh,
was a
Heavy
Oh,
Rain.
we're talking about Heavy Rain.
Oh,
yeah.
very nice. Very nice.
And then, yeah, and then we were talking about doing it like Memento style though. So it
Oh,
starts at the end, and then you get
yeah.
flashbacks that you have to work backwards to.
That's cool. That's cool.
no. I like the LA Noir idea, and you could get
I like both, but
you could get just having Candace Patton walking around in the 1950s
yes.
style doing investigative reporting, and then she could have an emergency flash button, and here comes Barry to clean up after she's found who it is, she's got the bad guy cornered, she's got all the proof and evidence, she's done all the work, and then you just call in the Flash to take him to jail for you.
Yeah. Dude, that is a great idea. So that's what this fight's all about. So hopefully, I think the chat channel gets it now. They've got some ideas. So I mean, I want to see characters. I want to know what's your concept, what's the end goal, what's the end game for your game. Okay, and you're gonna throw those out to us in the Nerd Fight article. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look through those. We're going to obviously talk with you on the article. We'll comment to you and all that stuff. We'll have some great conversations. We're going to take a few of those that we really, really like, and one of us or all of us will probably combine on it. And we're actually going to write an article giving you guys some love for your great ideas. And hey, if you get it in time, maybe Big Papa Matt will actually try to pitch it at E3 to somebody. Who knows? Nudie Rudy is shaking his head. Yes, so I think we can make that happen.
I can see Nudie Rudy chasing down a executive going, "You will listen to me now. I've got this XCOM clone that I want to talk to you about."
Yes. Yes. Make it happen. Well, kids, it's been we have hashtag had a fun. It's been fantastic. We should have made this one segment longer though, because I'll tell you, we weren't sure exactly how this was going to go, but it's been a lot of fun just talking about these great ideas for video games.
Totally.
We do want to end with a couple things real quick. So we do have the comic book signing coming up here very soon in San Marcos with our good friends at Sky High Comics. That is June 14th. Is that right, Jack?
Of course it is, because it's on the same day as the Army's birthday.
I know, but unless your birthday, I don't know. Okay, so I'm terrible with that.
It's the day the U.S. Army was founded. So
very nice.
So yeah, so make sure you if you're in the area, June 14th, Sky High Comics in San Marcos, get your butt there, buy the new comic. It's called
To Kill a Minotaur.
To Kill the Minotaur. And the guy's name again?
Chris Pacetto.
Chris Pacetto. And he's also, since we're talking about video games, all kinds of credits for Destiny, Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption. He's even got some Call of Duty credits. So the dude's a stud. Get down there, buy his comic, have him sign it. Show some love to Sky High Comics. They're an awesome, awesome shop. If you are in the area of San Diego, San Marcos, you need to get to that shop and buy some comics from them because they're fantastic people. And they will sit there and talk to you about the comics that you're looking at. They'll give you suggestions and ideas. They're really great people. So make sure you show some love to Sky High Comics down there in San Marcos.
And if you live in San Diego, they sponsor all kinds of great events all the time. They've just teamed up with a local brewery that's down here. It's called the Battle Mage, and they're doing Magic the Gathering competitions in the brewery now. It's a nice little two-man operation. Some new brewery that just opened up, and they're having a lot of fun there. They have Magic games there. They do all kinds of stuff. So if you live in San Diego or you live in Southern California and you're looking for a place to nerd and geek out, they're really a place to go. And this is not a paid advertisement. I go there all the time. I love the place.
Absolutely. You can also support us. So this is not paid, but if you're interested in Kiwi crates, make sure you check out the links on the website. Get yourself a Kiwi crate. Get your kids a Kiwi crate. They're great for educational. They got some awesome stuff for STEM. Definitely check it out. You can also click on any of the Amazon links within our page and go and buy something from Amazon, and it actually goes and helps us. So that money, believe me when I say, goes right back into what we're doing here. So we're already we've got bills still to pay. So we would love to have you do that. It's Father's Day coming up. We're going to have a special little Father's Day thing next week. So why not go buy Dad something from Amazon and show some love to your friends over here at MaliceCast and Malice-Corp. So with that, I have one last thing I want to talk about, just real quick. And then we're going to wrap with where you can follow everybody. And I was saving this to the end because we were talking about it right before we went on air, and it was just a little too much to try to start off with it. So I'm going to try to make it through all of this. We have part of our nerd community, and Mest in particular is part of a guild that he plays games with, online games with. There's a little dude, his name's Frank, and he has a YouTube channel, It's the Enchanted Emerald pickaxe. He's 12 years old. He loves playing video games. He loves showing off the video games. We just found out before the cast that he passed away yesterday. He has had terminal cancer. All of us, I know, on this cast, and probably everybody out there as well, has had somebody that they've lost to cancer, someone that's currently fighting cancer. So we want to show this family some love. We're going to have all the link information in the text for this cast, and we're also we're going to get an article out this week for sure, just giving some love to him. I want to ask that everybody that's on this channel, that watches this channel, please go and watch some of those videos, subscribe. This is part of our nerd community. This is a fellow gamer. I'm a father. I have a 12-year-old son, and I can't imagine what this family is going through right now. So show some love for Frank and go watch some of his videos. He's super cute and just heartbroken right now over what that family's going through. So again, we're all a big nerd family here and out there as well. You're part of our nerd family. So go show some love for the Enchanted Emerald pickaxe, and we'll have his information for you to go and like and subscribe and watch his videos. He's was a huge Zelda fan. So I was caught there today at work watching some of his Zelda videos. So yeah, so a little sobering there, but we've had a lot of fun today. But I did want to give a shout out to him because yeah, real life does happen. And so thank you all for letting me kind of throw that out there on the channel here. We are going to say goodbye, and we're going to go around and just tell you where you can follow all of us. You can follow me at @beacon_Malice-Corp. That's beacon_Malice-Corp on Twitter. You can also follow this cast at MaliceCast. And Super Hoovy and Freak, where can we follow you?
Twitter, I'm at Super Hoovy and Nut, and then I'm Super Hoovy and Freak on Instagram. And that's all I have for right now. I may be making more here in the next week.
And Igor.
Well, I'm still streaming very erratically as Harris.
On both Twitter and Instagram, and also please follow our official Malice-Corp Instagram. We love to see you, and especially right now with E3 coming, I promise you're going to see some great content, so don't miss out.
Yeah, definitely be following Nudie Rudy, because they're going to have all kinds of stuff coming to you from E3, as well as make sure you follow at the Big Papa Matt on Twitter and Instagram, and he is Sanamaku on Snapchat. So I'm sure they'll be getting all kinds of stuff out to you. And finally, you can follow Mr. Jack Malice.
Jack at Jack_Malice on Twitter. And of course at Malice-Corp for the main Twitter feed, which I'm trying to get these guys to use more often. So it's, it's popping.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Same time next week, but we're gonna have a little crossover, hostile takeover from our friends over at the Nerd Mosh Pit, because they're all going to be at E3 as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun next week wrapping up E3. But thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you join into the Nerd Fight this week. Give us your ideas. Hashtag, if you're on Twitter with it, hashtag it MalicePitch, hashtag NerdFightE3. So make sure you get that out there. And until next week, also like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to see that. Thank you all for joining us in the chat channel. And until next week, stay nerdy out there.